Okay. I don't really know what to do with my hair. Just gonna flip it. Okay. So we're going to be doing a general reading with your past, present, future, your mental environment, and your external environment. If your past and your present resonates with you, then this is your reading. And if not, that's okay. You can check out my previous readings, or you can wait for a new one. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And always take the advice of a professional over any kind of a tarot reader. My hair's like super fluffy today. Alright, for your past we have the Three of Cups. That's really exciting. So maybe you have just been having like a really good time with somebody that you've met. Or like with your friends and your families and stuff. Although we do have, for your present, we have the Six of Cups in reverse, letting go of the past, focusing on the future, maturity, growing up, leaving home. This doesn't look like something that's unfortunate. It just kind of seems like maybe that if you're really young and like you've been having a really good time, you've been having parties, but you want to get more serious kind of a thing. It's like you just kind of want to adopt an older, more mature, wise personality. You want to get more serious. With your future card, we do have the Knight of Swords. Maybe, again, if you're, like, really young and, like, you just started work or something and the work environment is not very fun. Like, hard work is hard enough as it is. But then if you have, like, a boss that's, like, toxic, or, like, coworkers that are toxic, people are just, like, rude to you, or, like, they just don't respect you, or anything like that. And that goes in line with your, mental environment. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Five of Wands where, you know, just arguing, maybe you're arguing, maybe you're having conflicts, maybe you're butting heads, maybe you're not really sure how to do this, and you don't have to be young. You know, it just could be something like you're trying to fit in, but like enough to like get the job done or do what you gotta do, and you want it to be working out and stuff, but it's just really difficult maybe with the people around you. Although for your external environment, we have the Nine of Cups. It might be something that you really want to do. Maybe you like the job that you're doing. Like, for example, there's a lot of fast food places that I've worked at, and I really enjoyed, you know, like serving the customers and the people that came across in my lines and stuff. I really enjoyed that. Or being a CNA. I really enjoyed being a CNA and the appreciation that I got from people that I was taking care of. But just the work environment was really difficult for me. The lack of rest that I was getting was very difficult. For your advice, interesting. For your advice, we have the Devil. Now, from what I remember when I learned about the Devil card, is this is kind of like a stage where, like, for example, the adolescents, people who are no longer kids, that are really developing their own sense of independence, and they're really fighting back from the regimens that they were taught to be in, and they go through this kind of like a rebel stage, for the sake of their, you know, for the sake of, like I said, their own independence, their own kind of personality. As far as advice goes, this is tricky. Let's figure this out. As far as advice goes, what I'm getting is kind of like what I'm remembering from that. Battling your own addictions. Like, this could be like getting stuck in addictions, dependency, materialism, you know, all kinds of different things. But it's kind of like embracing your dark side, not in an unhealthy way, but learning to embrace it in a very healthy way. Like, maybe you don't want to fight per se, but you learn how to handle a fight. Does that make sense? Like, if people are going to be butting heads with you and people are going to be rude, you learn how to, or even how not to react. For example, you learn like what's appropriate to say. You start building up certain skills that make you conquer your environment. For your likely outcome, we do have the Moon. So it may not be easy to figure out if what you're doing is the right thing, especially with the devil card here. That can make things very illusioned, like confusing. You're not really understanding, like there's a fine line between, you know, like dark humor that's funny and dark humor that's like screwed up, you know what I mean? So it's all about like honing in on yourself and who you are and who you want to be. And I got an extra card for your likely outcome. You do have the Page of Swords, and the pages are people who are like learning and stuff. There's patience needed, there's ideas, inspiration, planning, vigilance, protective, guarded. So learning how to guard yourself, learning how to protect yourself. So it's like if someone's being immature at work, you know, and you're just like, look, I just want to get the job done. Like, I'm not here to fight you. Well, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, okay, I understand, you know, but it's like either we can just resolve this now or we could take it to the manager if you really have that much of an issue. You know what I mean? And like let a third party come in and help, because and it says right here, don't get drawn into arguments. And I feel like that's where I was going with like that little example. Somebody who's wanting to bicker at you and wanting to have it off with you. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. You know, just being that person who is wanting to learn how to be more responsible, no matter how old you are. And just learning how to navigate these issues can be very difficult, especially when you start getting very frustrated. But with this planning, you know, planning on how to, like, if someone says, like, for example, little petty comments, like, well, if you're not going to do this, well, then fine, or whatever. And just like, you know what, you know, I was going to do that, and they're just assuming that I wasn't going to do that because they're just looking at the one thing that, you know, they think I am or am not supposed to be doing. But it's like, I know my job. I know, like, the whole balance of everything I'm going to do. But if you want to go ahead and do it, fine, go for it. You know what I mean? This non-fighting... Oh, and this heat's killing me. Thank God, right? Because it is icy outside. Think before you speak. Mental agility. Just becoming wiser at how you handle things can make all the difference. It can even gain you respect. Especially from people like your managers who ideally want the workplace to flow and have, like, it's be effective is what I'm thinking as far as business goes. It's not going to be very effective if customers are sitting there watching two people start fights, you know what I mean? But it's going to be a different story if they see one person is wanting to pick a fight and the other person's like very politely and very like respectfully like, look, I don't want to do this, I'm just trying to do my job. That literally changes the whole story, you know what I mean? That's basically what I'm getting here. And I love how it circles right back around to the Three of Cups. It basically kind of makes me feel like as karma goes on, you're going to continue to have good times with good people. You're going to bring in new relationships with good people as a result of you learning this dance, of honing in your skills, of being more mature and being fresh. There's not saying that if you're ready to move on that you have to leave people behind, but sometimes that does happen. Not everybody is ready to grow up yet. Not everybody is ready to get better yet because they don't see where they're at is needing to get better, and that can be really frustrating as well. But I'm just seeing, as far as like I was gonna say workplace, but it doesn't have to be that. If that's the energy that's coming through, then there's no saying, especially with this Nine of Cups being your physical environment, it's not littered with toxicity, you know what I mean? There might be a few here and there, but it's definitely something that you can handle. So that being said, you guys have a wonderful day.